Okay, I know I've mostly switched over to gaming, but there is one what if that I've noticed that it doesn't fucking exist. And I low key want to kind of make it. So, here we go. What if Loona was lost royalty? Yes. The, the wolf chick from Hell of a Boss. Yes. Now, the confirmed age of Loona is roughly 22 to 25, in hell years, of course. So, let's get started. And what I mean by, the age is, something happened to the royal family around 22 to 25 years ago, which I'm just going to say 22 years ago, just for simplicity's sake. But for this story, we're not exactly starting off with Loona. We're starting off with Max, an OC of mine that I just came up with on the spot because, well, I needed someone. I'm not going to get into his build and look. Just imagine a gray wolf. Okay, and probably looks around 170, 180 pounds. Let's get started. So, start off with Max. Max, he's roughly about 23, by the way, so, yeah. Roughly, like 22, 23. Like a few more months before his birthday or some shit. Ever since he discovered what happened to the royal family, he has been nothing but... Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, he's been doing nothing but searching for the lost royal heir or heiress. There was confirmation that there was an heiress born upon the night of the murder. It's just they don't know where she went, or he, even. They don't know if it's male or female, but there is a distinct look, though, that sets the royalty apart from the rest. He's been scouring hell, all 7 circles, searching. He has a photo of, the king and queen themselves. He's looking around. No match. Alright. Yeah, he's not finding a match anywhere. And he's been searching for a good 6 years now. Most of the time he's exhausted, starving. But he has this one mission. Find the royalty. And due to the royalty falling, the Hellhounds have been in constant civil war with each other. Especially on the Wrath Circle, where they come from. But they all agreed on one thing, though. Don't touch the royal palace. They're leaving they're leaving the palace alone. In the middle of a search, in one of the rings, I don't know which ring Loona is in. I don't know where the Imp, I don't know where Imp is based at, which ring. So I'm just gonna say Greed. Yeah, let's say they're based up in Greed. Maybe. So, at the moment, he's been up and down hell, searching. He's back on the Greed ring. He's just walking around. He actually finally got something in his stomach for once, so that's actually helping him keep walking. And it starts to rain. He's looking up at the clouds and he thinks, better get inside somewhere before it starts becoming acid. Because it's already starting to sting. And he sees this building with imp on the side. Big words called imp. He just walks in the front door. Shuts the door. Yeah, just right at the right time, too. It started getting really acidic. You know, like people's skin melting off. Yeah, it's kind of fucking brutal in Greed. Not as brutal as Wrath, but yeah, shit can fuck you up on Greed still. And he hears a voice that says, "Can I help you?" He looks, sees another hellhound. One he's never really seen before. He's just staring at her. Just takes a good sniff in, and she definitely smells a lot different from most other hellhounds he's ever met. And she definitely looks familiar. Like, very familiar. Like, he knows he's never met her in his life, but something about her strikes him as familiar. Then he remembers the photos, checks it out. And lo and behold, she's damn near a spot-on image of the Queen. He asks, "What's your name?" She said, "Loona." "Why?" Throws the photo down in front of her and says, do you know who that is?" She looks at it for a second. She said, "That's me." "Wait a minute, I've never wore that dress before. Who the fuck are you?" Max just looks at her for a second. Looks down at the photo, back at her. Puts down the king's photo. It's definitely the same eyes. Why did you put these photos in front of me?" Loona asks. Max just looks at her. Bewilderment. Loona could definitely see a few things on his face. Shock. Pride. Bewilderment. And accomplishment. He asks, "May I borrow your phone?" She says, "Sure." He makes one call. His old garrison, from his time as a war dog. He said, "Hey, don't scrap the phone call, but whatever I said about, like, I think I said Mr. by accident? Yeah." He says, "Mrs. Josephine. You know, Loona could hear, someone talking to the phone, and he says, Max says, "I think I found her." And, Miss Josephine, she's like, "Who is this?" She says, "It's Max." "Oh, I remember you. Yeah. Oh, shit, Snowman." She's going off like, "Shit, Snowman, it's been a minute." Loona just hears "Snowman." Instantly, she's very uneasy. She's heard about this guy called Snowman before. Max is like, "Please don't use that name." And Ms. Josephine says, "Why not?" Max continues, "Because there's someone here that you might need to see. I'll be up there as soon as possible." "How long is it going to take?" She said, "Is it raining up there?" He said, "Yeah." "Alright, just give me a few hours." "Okay." And the phone conversation ends and says, "You mind if I stay in here for a few hours? Avoid the rain?" Loona is just stunned that a legend is standing in the shop right now. She says, sure. Max goes to sit on one of the waiting couches and goes to light up a cigarette. But right before the flame can reach the tip of the cigarette, he stops, looks around for a second, and asks, excuse me, is there an ashtray around? She said, yeah. Luna's like, yeah. Chucks him the ashtray. He catches it. Puts it down, lights up. 3 hours later, Miss Josephine walks in, carrying a more metallic umbrella that shielded her from the acid rain. Shakes it off just outside the door and puts it in a little thing that holds umbrellas, whatever that thing is called. Josephine looks around the room, spots Max immediately, and says, "Young man, why did you call me here?" Max, already working on his 6th cigarette, he nods towards Loona. Miss Josephine looks at Loona and says, "Oh, hello, young dear. What's your name?" She says, Loona. Loona is a little wigged out at the moment. She's never seen more than, 2 or 3 hellhounds in her life. And, seeing that, there's a dangerous one, a more dangerous one, and then there's this old lady. Max says, "Look at the photos." Loona, Miss Josephine, looks at the photos, then looks at Loona. Josephine's brow furrows a little, just looks back at the photos, looks back at Loona. She's really looking at Loona now. Josephine, she steps back, just shock on her face. Shock's very, very apparent on her face. Max looks at Josephine and says, "What do you think?" Josephine is just, holy shit. Loona is wigging the fuck out at this moment. She's like, she's pressing a button very rapidly under the table now. Blitzo notices... Blitz. Yeah, Blitz. He's noticed this. And he just rushes into the lobby. Just, he's pissed, ready to fucking take some heads off. Along with Moxie and... Damn. Yeah, Mox and Millie. Yeah, Mox, Millie, and Blitz all just rush in, ready to take some fucking heads off. Then Blitz sees Max. He stops. Max just looks at Blitz. Blitz, He says, "Why the fuck is a gray wolf in here?" He said, "No particular reason." Then notices the older wolf and says, "What's going on?" She says, "Look at the photos." All Josephine says. Blitz notices a pair of photos on Luna's desk. He looks. Seeing the Hellhound royalty. He looks a little closer to the photos, looks at Loona, back at the photos, back at Loona, and, Just wonderment crosses his face. Loona, at this point, she does not know what's going on. Loona. Blitz is like, Loona? You know, his hands are shaking a little. Yeah, he puts the photos down in front of her, where she sees them both in full view. Now, the darker wolf, the guy, she's seen him before. He was in some history books she's read before. Blitz says, allow me to introduce you to your family. And I'll go ahead and end it there because I'm a dick. You know, good old cliffhanger. If you guys like the content you just heard down there, you know what to do. Deuces.